Alrighty, everybody, we are back and ready for series number 2 of the day and 4 of the week. What is happening to my hair? We'll fix that in a second, as we already have our matchups set for today. Storm Esports were able to beat out Granite Gaming in a 3-0, meaning every match this week so far has been a 3-0. Will this match change it? Oxygen Esports versus 30K. Very exciting match. Thank you, Dax from 30K, for sending me a decent logo I could use that isn't just disguised or me having to make a fake stroke for it. You can see here for Oxygen, mostly unchanged from last season. They now have Drated on board as well. It's a very strong team for them. They did lose a couple players, but they were able to re-pick up Cascon, who is amazing. Cascon is an insanely good player, so seeing them playing once again is always good to see. They're in the subs role for now. Madara is back and is very strong as well. This is a strong team. Remember, they went undefeated in terms of full series for the first 4 weeks of CCL. On the other side, 30K, who still have a pretty solid core of Liam and Hasuobs, but they have adjusted basically the entire rest of their roster, with X-Ray, support player for crowd control, coming on as the main tank. We have Yasu, who was a god support in the substitute role last season and is back once again for even more play. And Dynao, assassin for crowd control, coming back as well. Put on a beautiful performance last season, is back once again. We'll see if they can show what they're doing. And they did have one other player. They did have Fury, but they did trade out Fury for Hyde, swapping out their substitute tank for Hyde as a support substitute. Very sensible. A lot of teams seem to like those support subs. So we're going to see the first map being selected by Oxygen. It's going to be Dragonshire. First map ban by the side of 30K is Alterac Pass, and I'd love to tell you what the second map ban is, but I can't tell you because there's stuff in the way. Clean feed! It's Sky Temple Tower. It's one of Sky Temple, Tomb of the Spider Queen, and Towers of Doom. It's one of those 3. I'm gonna guess Sky Temple banned by Oxygen. That's gonna be my prediction. Eventually, they'll hopefully get rid of that thing, and we'll be able to tell. Speaking of which, let me pre-make predictions. Let me try and be smart about this and make predictions ahead of time. Who will win game 1? Hey, it was Tomb of the Spider Queen. I was wrong. Hooray! I'm a genius. But we tried our best. We tried our best. Alright, prediction is made ahead of time. So that is ready to go once we are jumping into the game. We have a draft coming up, hopefully very shortly. So we'll be good to go for that, as we can begin to have a look at some statistics for these 2 teams. 30K, remember, won the Icebreaker tournament. They are coming into this as the favorites. Oxygen looked pretty good last season and did place higher than 30K last season as well. So they're going to be coming into this with a little bit of momentum. This is the first matchup that we've seen so far of teams that are at least a little bit more unchanged than we saw in our previous matches so far. Let's get this underway as the draft is beginning. Once we're at the end of the draft, you will have 1 minute for your predictions as usual. It's going to be first pick, first ban for 30K. They have been playing a lot of Diablo and Hogger in the Icebreaker. Very sensible to see there. Their most banned heroes are Uther, Sonya, Medivh, and Yrel. But we're going to see that Uther banned away by Oxygen. Their most banned heroes usually Chromie, Malfurion, Hanzo, and Cassia. You can see Stukov banned out. It's going to be, once again, support chokes. It's a bad time to be a support main, folks, when you're in CCL. Rexar, though, taken out. That's more of a target ban against Hasuobs here. Hasu loves his sneaky Rexars, sometimes in the 4-man. This does mean we're going to see Yasuwu. It looks like their name has been changed to. Sure, Yasuwu going to be coming in with that Lucio early pick. Immediate counteraction to that, Hogger and Karazim. Karazim's really been jumping up in priority as potentially a counter to Lucio, someone who could just dive in and do just a monstrous amount of damage, it seems. Sonya and Cassia will be coming in here. Sonya, solid offlane. Again, we already mentioned the matchup versus Hogger. They're pretty even. Sonya wins a little bit in the early game. Hogger wins if he can get a good bounce. It can knock Sonya off of the minion wave to stop her from soaking out. And this allows Hogger to try and bully Sonya once he hits level 13. And of course, having that massive spell power reduction is going to be insane in big team fights. So it can get really good value that way. So Hogger does pretty well at level 13. But once Sonya hits level 16, that percentage damage in a 1v1 will mean that she will take an advantage over Hogger. We see Falstad banned away. That would be really smart, give them that global potential, that big gank for top lane, try and punish out Hogger that way. While waiting for the next ban from 30k, allow me to tell all of you my current plight, my sadness that I am living with to this day. Before I went into hospital, I have been trying for a long time to get back into exercising a little bit more. I'm trying to lose weight, trying to be more healthy, just trying to make good choices. I basically, decided to purchase a Ring Fit because I was told that the RPG aspect of it is apparently really good. So and that's really exciting to me. That's something that can interest me while I'm exercising. That sounds brilliant. Prompt then, I had surgery on my stomach, meaning I can't do anything. It's arrived today, and it's just sitting there on my sofa, staring at me, just like, go on. You're going to play me? And I'm like, no, I'm going to hurt myself and get hemorrhoids. And so now I have to just let it sit there until I'm healed enough to exercise again, scowling at it, looking as it just mocks me. Feels bad. Ring Fit. Yes, a Ring Fit from Nintendo Switch. May and Sylvanas for the composition. Why am I yes, it's judging me. It's like, why are you exercising? And I'm like, I'm hurt, please. Diva coming in for 30k. That's interesting. That's going to be a main tank Sonya then, right? Unless it's main tank Diva? Out of the two, it's got to be main tank Sonya, right? Deathwing coming in for Oxygen. Both these teams going for very heavy front lines. Makes a lot of sense. Look at the percentage damage for 30k. It's kind of non-existent. There we go. It's main tank Sonya. Main tank Sonya coming in here. So the idea of this is, Dax said it in the chat before I could even get to it, it's going to be a 1-3-1 for both of these teams. But it does mean that Sonya will be in the 4-man a lot more often than Diva will be. The idea for this is to basically have mid lane just kind of get bullied, or just have mid lane as a solo, but try and rotate, steal mercenaries, and just try and bully one of the lanes. That's the idea here, where you just try and create pressure. So this is going to be Deathwing and Diva in one of the lanes, or basically Hogger and Deathwing will be split between two lanes, and we will have Diva and Sonya split between two lanes, meaning that it's just the ranged heroes that are going to be running around from the side of 30k. Very interesting, very exciting. This is fun. I do like the 1-3-1 setups that we do see a lot these days on this map. It's becoming much more popular. I've even seen one team run it with a Probius, which was really creative. Gave them a little bit of extra range as well, where they could have the range in the bottom lane and have the melees still have the tank with the composition. It's weird to see, but it's actually becoming more popular these days. Let's see how it works as we do head into game number 1 of this best of 5 series. On the right, 30k with Liam on the Diva. We have Dianao on Cassia, X-Ray on Sonya, Hasuobs playing the Malfurion, interesting, and that's Yasuo on the Lucio. On the left, Oxygen with Hebi on that Karazim, Nasmus on the Hogger, Madara Uchiha on Sylvanas, rated on Deathwing, and that is going to be Red Robot on the Mei. Oh yes, the bets, crap. All right, hang on, I'll set them up. You still have time. You still have 1 minute. Time has started. Good luck. You'll get a little bit of a sneak preview of the actual game as it is happening. There you go. Bets are done. Predictions, we good. It's not too late. I mean, I don't exactly lose points for setting up bets for you guys. So there you go. We good. Starting off, a little bit of fire being burnt. Nasmus blasting through the minion wave and rotating up to top lane straight away. So it's going to be Hogger versus D.Va in the top lane. I mean, it's going to be Sonya versus Deathwing in the bot lane. That's a good, that's a good matchup for Sonya these days. Now going to retreat out of the Blizzard. Heavy trying to run down Yasuo. He's going for an Iron Fist build. It's a percentage damage Sylvanas as well with no main tank. You might as well kill those frontliners quicker. Molten Blood for Deathwing. Just stay at range, clear out the waves. Very sensible. Ooh, big vote difference. There's a pretty solid amount of votes going over to Oxygen this time by the looks of it. Interesting. Alrighty. I'll keep an eye on that. See how. So what were the final ones? 90% for Oxygen. Ooh, interesting. 90% of the bits going to of the channel points for Oxygen. 30k, only getting 10%. This will be interesting. Alrighty. Bruiser Caps picked up by both teams. Red Robot is currently being left solo, with Siege Camp being picked up a little bit slower by Oxygen Esports. Gaining momentum that way. Cassia starting off with a Q-based build. Even against a Deathwing, still gives you good value. You can still go for the percentage damage talents later on. Possession coming in for Sylvanas. Double channel available for Oxygen Esports, but no momentum to be gained there. Both teams putting at least a little bit of pressure onto that top lane. Liam is currently very outnumbered, but this is being traded in exchange for the amount of pressure that's about to be applied to top lane. Liam roasted! That first blood going over to Oxygen as Dido is forced to rotate in, meaning Lucio takes over mid lane for a bit. No, Lucio is actually just going to rotate straight down. Come help with this. This is now a 4-man push down here in this bottom lane. I mean, this 4 is currently in serious trouble. The Fountain getting killed off here. Madara's going to try and finish it and will succeed. Fountain goes over. Hogger forced to roll away, even though it is Hogger. Still outnumbered, still not worth taking the fight. Interesting to see here. We're seeing a little bit of a deviation from the standard build coming in from Hasuops. Going instead of the Rejuvenation or the Celestial Alignment into Shandau's Clarity. Extra cooldown, Innovate's cooldown reduction increased by 25% faster per ally affected with regrowth and gaining extra charge of Innovate, so more mana spam. Ooh, invade by Yasuo, makes it to the point with the kickoff. They're trying to stay out of range of the Molten Breath, but they're eating a lot of it. They are able to force off Karazim by killing him off. Good, successful invasion by 30k. Able to find themselves that kill. X-Ray trying to bully out Drayton, able to do a good job of that. Aggro range once again for Hogger, level 7 is hit. There's that surge of light. Reverse amp for Lucio. Remember when that was a heroic? Petridge Farm remembers. Madara. He's actually taking a lot of damage from Yasuo. The power of Yasuo just on that Lucio. Just try to be a maximum bully. Nature's Cure from that Malfurion. And Yasuo chased down by Karazim. That's what we're going to be seeing a lot this game. This is why we're seeing Karazims into Lucio sometimes. Root came out onto Red Robot, but not enough DPS to finish the job. But they've gained some space, but not enough time. Bot goes over to Oxygen. Current kill count 2-1 in favor of Oxygen Esports. As they hold the position. Nasmus going to begin to channel in. Take control. Good knockback. Hasu backing away. They're going to trade back and forth. Nasmus now has a decent opportunity to try and get a perfect bounce. There is perfect bounces available here, but he'll lose charge if he does. That's the issue. You will actually lose the objective if you go for the perfect bounce here. Liam is forced to burn the self-destruct as Hogger spins away. Liam has that percentage damage now. Can actually stay in pilot mode form to trade out some damage in exchange for trade out some damage output. In exchange for a little bit of extra health. We'll make their way back onto the point. Very nearly doesn't even make it onto the point. Tense battles up in that top lane. As X-Ray tries to put some pressure onto Drayton. Has gone for the extra burst healing with the battle rage for X-Ray. Here comes Red Robot in from the side, going to try and turn his attention onto Dido. Surge of Light already burned Dido with the armor. Route to zone away. That keeps him alive. Hasu keeping Dido healed up here. Keeping them sustained, keeping them healed. Interesting, but trash fire coming in for the Hogger. Again, a little bit out of the ordinary, but it's going to help with the wave clear a bit. Nasmus trading back and forth with Liam, who has the level 10 advantage, trying to use those micro missiles, but was already a little low in terms of health. There's level 10 for Oxygen Esports. We're going to see that mind control here. Mind control plus percentage damage from overwhelming affliction and the lost souls. It's all about that single target murder. Purely going to be very reliant on that mind control to immediately apply all 3 charges of that Banshee's curse, of those black arrows. Ice Wall doesn't land. Liam able to stop Red Robot from channeling. There's all a distraction as Hogger starts on the camp. Not a great bounce angle. Actually, he's forced to go back into melee. That's going to really increase that clear time. Knockback, root, sleep, but woken up very quickly. The Yasuo auto attacks. Die now, able to reclaim control for a bit, up to 33 stacks, and there's a big old dragon to stack off here. Channel interrupted. Liam trying to sneak it. Top lane being pushed in by Sonya. Looks like they've gone for a little bit of a swap, putting Sonya in the top lane against Hogger. A little bit of a more favorable matchup for the Sonya, at least at this early stage. You can see though, Hogger's doing a really, really good job of forcing X-Ray off of those minions, preventing the sustain with that Bruiser camp in tow. Top lane, you can see on the health bars, Sonya is beginning to struggle. Blizzard to interrupt the turn in. The root does not land. That's going to be enough. Hogger makes their way up onto the top point. That's going to be the object. That's going to be a neutral going over to Oxygen and a double channel coming in for them. X-Ray forced to come down. D.Va makes their way back top. Mind control dodged as X-Ray is able to get the interrupt. D.Va recaptures top and the teams go back to neutral. Neither one of these teams getting a huge advantage here. The advantage will likely come when the next team is able to get a kill. This might be it. This might be what they need. The root is good, but Blizzard is well placed. X-Ray, 7-sided strike, high five though. No, not high five, sorry. That was the cleanse from Hasu and sound barrier from Yasu. No high five coming in to keep everyone alive. Maximum sustain coming in here, but finally Hasu will be the one to fall. Liam dropping the self-destruct as X-Ray comes on in. Massive stun. Mind control, percentage damage blow up. That was a great play from Madara, and that's going to likely be the first Dragonite going over to Oxygen Esports, finding their opportunity and getting a big blow-up play there. Drayton already in position, literally just waiting for the channel to happen. But Red Robot is actually being ganked 2v1, so that we will not see a Dragonite being picked up yet, because Red Robot is actually in danger of dying if they're not careful. Will be forced to icing away. Using that physical armor to dodge a little bit of extra damage. So no Dragonite, denied again by 30k. Seeing siege camps being picked up by both teams, but there's the extra bruiser camp for Oxygen. Yasu! Oh my god, if he lives this. He kicks off to get away after the mind control lands. He sneaks out, but the rest of his team is in serious trouble. Cataclysm over the ice wall into the blizzard, but Hasu, he's sneaking out. There's the block. Yasu coming back in, trying to help out the team. Makes his way back to the team, drops the sound barrier. They charge forward looking for heavy, but they can't do it. Yasu is too low, needs to heal himself if he wants to live. He doesn't actually need to. No, he's fine. He will survive, but there's the hard engage. They force Yasu out of the fight, turn around and blow up his team. Nicely done. Dyna avoids the stun. Pressure onto the mid lane, gonna clear that out. 4 goes down, mind control onto Yasu. It's actually a really good heroic to use onto Yasu, because mind control means that you still use your own movement speed, I'm pretty sure. So if you can mind control Lucio while he's in move speed mode, he'll actually run to you quicker. I'm not 100% on that, don't quote me, that's my theory on it. X-Ray wants to look for the interrupt, will land the spear. In the meantime, Karazim continues to do Karazim things. Go maximum bully, try and force people to back away. Liam delaying, interrupting as best they can, and that gives enough time for Dynow to recapture bot lane. But Oxygen are gaining more and more momentum. A third of a level lead right now in favor. Some more team comms that we can't listen to. Liam backing away. Clearing out the lanes as best they can. Blizzard comes out. Not enough to commit to anything yet. Red Robot looking pretty solid so far, as the amount of delaying and denying they've been doing will still eat a little bit of harassment. Bruiser Camp picked up by Oxygen Esports. Make their way forward. Headbanger for that Hogger at level 16. Will the Forsaken? They're going to try and take out Dineout, focusing him down, but Dineout turns it around. Ball Lightning. Massive damage onto Mana, who has to use that Will of the Forsaken to get out. No kills from either team, but that is going to be a objective picked up by Hogger. Still no Dragon Knight. And Diva's just going to immediately go take it back. Sonya's actually going in for bot lane as well. Neither of these teams giving an inch. It's Wave 100 Fists coming in for Karazim. Dineout caught once again in the Ice Wall. Blizzard, Molten Breath, but goes in deep. This time going to be picked up, though. The kill too much this time. Now Hasu going to be chased down. The chase potential and mobility of Oxygen Esports is too high. He dodges the mind control but has nowhere to go. He's still healing, trying to keep himself alive, but the damage output's too high. Now it's up to Yasu to delay. Drayton chased off by X-Ray, meaning neither team is going to get a Dragon Knight again. Despite 2 kills going over to Oxygen Esports, they can't deal with Liam. He's too tanky. Yasu's being too annoying. Sonya's holding bot lane. They just can't do it. Despite numbers in their favor, numbers, kills, experience, everything looking good for Oxygen, they lose the Sun and the Moonshine again. Nice use of Defense Matrix, buying a little bit of healing, buying some time, but Liam going in deep with the help of Yasu. Yasu try to force Nasmus off. Bounce comes out. Dineout's coming in as well. Nasmus is actually in the wrong neighborhood, but he's getting a lot of damage. We can kill off Yasu alone. That will do it. There's the snipe from Dineout, though. And 30k. 30k are relentless. 7 kills to 3. But they're even on experience. They're actually killing top lane. They prevented every Dragon Knight. 30k are just a relentless force of irritation. But bottom 4 did go down. Mid 4 is down. 30k are losing forts-wise.
Red team has destroyed a fort.
They finally get their first fort of the game. Yasu tries to sneak the objective. Is about to be chased down by everyone, but here comes X-Ray. And the rest of the team in for the save, in for the interrupt. X-Ray takes a lot of damage here. Don't run through the fire. Flagration now online. Red Robot onto the point. Diva clearing out the Bruiser Camp is needed by the team. Hoggus on the way. There's the Ice Wall into Blizzard once again, but they're healing out Dineout. Sound Barrier to hold it through. They focus on the Drayton and turn their attention onto Karazim. Ball Lightning finds the kill as Nasmus rotates in from the side to try and get the counteract damage, but X-Ray is putting too much pressure onto Drayton to get maximum value. Self-destruct blocked by the Blizzard, but it's enough to take out the tower as Yasu unbelievably sneaks to mid, and that is a Dragon Knight, the first one of the game, going over to 30k. They hit level 19 first. They're getting 2 forts during this. This is a ridiculous game. And 30k's war of attrition is beginning to look in their favor. They take out the middle forts. They take out the bot fort. All 3 forts down. A 15-minute Dragon Knight as they clear their way through. Yasuwu. Still trying to cause some pressure, rest of the team. Taking out the entire front wall in that bottom lane. Mind control onto Dineout. They cleanse him out, but he's got nowhere to go. That was a really nicely angled Blizzard. Ice Wall onto Hasu, who's now also in very serious trouble. Molten Breath, easily able to find the kill there. Yasu comes back in, joining up with the team. Sound barrier to try and get them out, but it's the front line and the support. They have got to leave. Knockback from Yasuo, trying to delay, just not get stunned by Nasmus. That was going to get real close. But everyone else gets out. Level 20 now available for both teams. Rock Stopper for that Cassia. A little bit of extra armor. She's been focused a lot. The Serenity for Malfurion. A little bit of extra healing there. Bosa Nova for Lucio. Ablative armor for the Diva. Very sensible against the Deathwing. And ignore pain for Sonya, who is going to have to potentially use that right now. Whirlwind to buy time. They are very outnumbered. Yasuo surrounded. He's running away though. Full speed ahead. Heavy's chasing him down. Can't get it. Ice Wall doesn't land. They just keep living. They just won't die. Yasuo ports back. He gets away again on the other side. We're seeing that transgression for Karazim. More percentage damage. The 15-second mind controls. When you hear the word mind control, it is scary. When you hear the word 15-second mind controls, it is terrifying. Self-destruct. Does some good damage. Hogger picking up the anger management here. Getting the extra maximum rage, and auto attacks now spawn rage. Extra range. Rage, sorry, not range. Stun the fire, shatter. The other heroics that are picked up. They're holding it together. Oxygen Esports, they're still in this game. They're just behind on structures. They're still massively ahead in kills. But they just can't kill people. They can't, like, the amount of times they could, if they'd killed everyone who they'd got close to killing this game, this would be like a 17-4 game. And I still am not sure that 30k would be out of the game yet. Ice Wall, that's going to burn a lot of the energy from that Deathwing. Massive stun lock onto Yasuo, who's able to kick off. They turn their attention onto Drayton, who's forced a Cataclysm out. Micro Missiles gets to good damage. Red Robot in retreat. And 30k win a fight. They don't get any kills, but they're able to force back the members of 30k. Immediately, Yasuo straight up to top lane. They're going to send Die. Oh no, they're sending Die down. Are they going for the Dragon Knights? No, they're not. Too much attention on bot lane. Still all 5 members alive. They're just going to clear out top. They'll grab the Sunshine themselves. They may lose out on bottom Bruiser for it. Liam will pick this up. Die now making their way down to the rest of the team. Bruiser Camp picked up by Oxygen Esports. More comms from 30k that we cannot hear. Mind control. Blindly sent out. Very sensible. It's down 15 seconds. Very smart to just honestly drop that. It's such a low cooldown that you might as well just eat it. You still have the majority of the rest of your tools. You still have some good other engage tools. It's not the worst ability to send out. Hook, on the other, I've seen a lot of people compare it to Hook. You should never blind Hook if you can help it, or unless you're really desperate. Because if you blind Hook, that's all your engage as Stitch is gone. But you still have other engages if you are a Mind Control Sylvanas. So you're actually a little bit more safe to use that Mind Control a little more liberally than you would. A 7-sided strike with Transgression comes out. Mind Control pulls him out of the Ice Wall. X-Ray staying alive. Conflagration coming out, dropping a lot of damage onto the rest of the team as the Red Robot falls to back away with Ball Lightning. There's a good Hog Wild from Nasmus to escape the root, and everyone gets away. Liam going to clear that up. Yes, you should never blind Hook if you can help it, because the enemy team will see that, and they know that they have 12 seconds without you having your engage tool. You do it with Sylvanas, okay, we have 15 seconds where they can't do that again, but they still have Mei and Hogger and Deathwing. They still have what they need. Nasmus rolls on in to try and force Dynao back. Successfully does so. Mind Control is back. But there's Dragon Knight coming in. Good sidestep. This time Dynao's ready. Using that Lucio movement speed. Stay in mobile. Stay in annoying. Has War Traveler as well. Trying to stay on the move. A little bit of damage being dealt. Punting away Sylvanas. Taking her out the fight for a little bit here. Trying to make their way through. Dragon Knight focusing down. They really want to try and take out this game. At this point, Dragon Knight's eating middle, keep trying to do some good damage. It's D.Va inside this. Drayton does not find the Molten Breath, and it looks like this will be a retreat. The keep is secured. Mind Control is dodged. And 30k able to back away. They start at a very ambitious siege camp. Trying to bait them away, trying to deny the vision. Unable to do so. Nasmus will secure this. And with speed of Lucio, 30k, get away. Hit and run strategies are what we're seeing from 30k. Oxygen, they're looking to force the issue. They have 20, they have their heroics. They are just going to try and force 30k to react to them. No more running away. If you're running away, your core dies. Mind Control finds nothing. Molten Breath used to bait out the defense matrix here. Lucio dodging out the way of the Molten Breath before the conflagration goes off. And they can't stay any longer. The poke. 30k, they're so fast. They're so mobile. Make it very hard to deal with. Fast and mobile heroes are a big counter to Deathwing as is. All of Deathwing's abilities require a wind-up. Fast and mobile heroes are really, really good against non-melee Deathwings. Hogger gonna bounce for freedom, but that kind of traps Heavy. Good movement by Madara, but they still lose Hogger. Damage output too high. Wouldn't Forsaken being burned by Madara to try and escape as Yasuo chases forward Cataclysm to try and slow him down. Was done the fire, but it's too much to chase. Too much damage. Heavy trapped, rooted, and killed. And that came out of nowhere. That fight starting so quickly, chasing them down. 30k are full health. Oxygen are full health. But suddenly, they find Nasmus. They find everything they need to turn this fight in their favor. The chase, the burst from Dineout to find that kill. And then everyone is far too low to stay alive. In the main game, the core is under assault. We're seeing Drayton trying to keep this game alive. Red Robot dropping blinds across the board to buy some time. But Yasuo able to win the fight as they chase in for the core self-destruct. The core's no more. That is game number 1 going over to 30k. 30k taking game number 1 in an intense back and forth. The power of irritation coming in there. Good job, 10%ers. A lot of people just got a lot of points. Choose outcome. 30k. Quite a few people just won quite a few channel points. You can see at the end there, Nasmus topping the damage numbers for the team. Still, though, 69k was really melting through people. It was all single targets, all blow-ups, just try and cause as many problems as possible. It was a really nice start, really nice play. Now, Furion, though, keeping the team alive. 88,000 healing. More than anyone else in the game. Of course, that wasn't the idea behind the Karazim. Heavy's job was to kill that Malfurion and kill that Lucio. And Lucio did get a death on the board. But Lucio, Yasuo is the big feature here. When you're against a Mei, when you're against a Deathwing, the biggest things you can have are mobility. Get out that Blizzard. Get out of those Deathwing abilities. Everything requires a wind-up when he's in that ranged mode. Even in melee mode, it all requires a wind-up. Having that movement speed and mobility massively shuts down his value and prevents Deathwing from getting a lot of that damage output. And even though they did do really good damage that game, it was a lot more that could have been done if 30k had been locked down a bit more. But Oxygen Esports weren't able to catch them, weren't able to keep them in control, and as such, 30k takes game number 1. Very close game. Very fun, close game between the two. 125 Q stacks on Cassie. I wonder how much bonus damage that is. 212, damn. That's a lot. A lot of damage coming in there. Abuse that big old Deathwing hitbox. Poke him down with spears. Feels good. I mean, I can't think of anything more Greek in general, and Cassie's obviously very Greek-inspired. Say Tetcher, do you agree with listening to team comms? Yeah, I don't see why not. I think it's cool. I think it's a stylistic choice that they've made with the stream, and I think it's very inspired, clearly from the Call of Duty MLG days, which I believe were one of the first organizations to actually do it in an esports setup. So I think it's pretty cool. I think it's their choice to do it. I find it really annoying that it shows up on the clean feed when we can't hear them. That's irritating. Don't like that at all. But, yeah, doesn't bother me. I have no issue with it. Are you not a fan of it? If you're not a fan of it, that's fine. Everyone to their own opinion. I have no issue with it. I have no strong feelings one way or the other. It's a good way to fill time if your casters don't have enough analysis to talk about. So it's a feature of the EGS stream just to add some more insight for what the players are talking about, which is cool. I think it's reasonable. As we wait for game number 2 to jump in. Very fun series so far. We're already one game in, and it's looking pretty decent so far. I hope you're all enjoying yourselves once again. Remember, if you are enjoying this stream, then you can help out by being very vocal about the stream. Once again, you don't think it should be in place? That's fair enough. That's fair enough. I would be curious of your reasoning behind that, but that's absolutely fair enough. You're entitled to your opinion. Feels good. So if you are enjoying, the biggest things you can do are being vocal. Twitch, Twitter, Reddit, all talking about, when people talk about CCL, maybe mention the Tetcher stream that you really enjoy that. You find a lot of fun on that side. So it is very appreciated if you can do that. That's the biggest thing you can do, and it's 100% free. Feels amazing. If you have a little bit of expendable income, then the next best thing you can do is, you know, help me afford food and shelter. That can be done via subscriptions on Twitch, via bit donations on Twitch, Streamlab donations on Twitch, where Twitch doesn't take as much money than Streamlab does. So if you want to make sure to maximize the amount of money sent, then the Streamlabs link is the best way to do that. If you want to maximize your sub money sent, higher tier subs pay me more money as well. I get 50% of a tier 1 sub, 60% of a tier 2, and 70% of a tier 3. We have our next map. It is going to be picked by 30k. It's going to be Battlefield of Eternity. So subbing, donating, bit donations all help me out. If you're watching on YouTube, becoming a member on YouTube by hitting the join button on my channel, youtube.com/Tetcher. This is also a great way to support. You can support for as little as $1 a month. These are the ways you can support this channel, being vocal, donating and subbing if you can. And of course, following on Twitch and subscribing on YouTube so that you can see when I go live and follow all the action. You can see when I cast CCL, when I cast NGS, when I cast Heroes Lounge. You can catch my shows such as the Heroes Global Quiz, and you can catch the episodes of Stormwatch, the Heroes of the Storm Esports news show every week when they come out on Tuesday by subbing on that YouTube channel. So you can see all of that stuff. You can see all of that stuff and get the entertainment you want and find it when it comes out. Heroes Global Quiz coming again soon, so you can catch that when it comes out. Lots of personal stuff. Lots of great stuff that hopefully you will enjoy. Following and subbing, a great way to see when those go live. So, we are getting ready. I don't like it just because I've never seen it on other games or leagues even. I guess it's a personal non-preference. And that's fair enough. I have seen it on majority of the leagues. Like it's done on it's not done in-game in a lot of other leagues. Like it was done in-game a lot during the Call of Duty stuff for MLG, where you had a lot of stuff during that, and I believe it is still done during the Call of Duty League. It's done after the games, during the LCS, LEC, and all those kind of stuff, and during the Overwatch League. They do the in-game VODs after the game there, and they pick some of the highlights from that, which is always one of my favorites. And we did a little bit of that during HGC as well. So that is one of my personal favorite ways to do it. But if they want to do it in-game, then that is their prerogative. We are into the lobby. It is map number 2, Battlefield of Eternity, chosen by 30k, meaning Oxygen. I can take first pick, first ban. With 30k, 1-0 up. Can Oxygen be the first team to not get 3-0'd? We will have to find out. With Uther removed from the board, Sonya taken out as well. Just so scary, so hard to deal with. The main tank Sonya from from X-Ray, sorry. Very fun to see. We got Hasu, Yasu, and X-Ray. Hasu and Yasu was already confusing enough. Hog are going to be taken out as well, just removing all those big offlaners. Still plenty of heroes who can do really good Immortal Race in that offlane position. One of my personal favourites, Gazlo, but we're not seeing a huge amount of him these days. But Robo-Goblin Gazlo absolutely eats the Immortal. Chromie banned away as well. This is one of Chromie's best maps. So Racers, Vala, Reyna, Hanzo. Lucio's going to be prioritized here, stolen away from 30k this time. Li Ming, Hanzo, Reyna, Vala, Lunara. Plenty of options. You think it's okay as long as it's delayed so someone can cut it before something bad is said? That's sensible. Like I say, I honestly prefer it as a post-game thing because the biggest thing about esports, and I'm gonna just like break the fourth wall here. The biggest thing I hate most about esports is no organization is committed enough to out-of-game content outside of China. China is the only region that does this correctly, where they have a lot more commitment and a lot more budget to commit to out-of-game content. And that's a big thing. What do you see on my screen when the game is over? You see a break screen. That is what you see. You see a screen that says, we're coming back soon. What do you see on the CCL screen? You see a timer. Why do you want people to leave your stream? Yeah, they can go to the bathroom, but you don't want them to be in the bathroom the entire time you're not on stream. You want them to be in the chat, donating, enjoying themselves, staying engaged in the stream so they don't get bored and turn off. So why are not more organizations investing in out-of-game content? And that's, in my opinion, where comms should exist. That's where they should be in the terms of the broadcast, because it's an extra thing happening on the broadcast in between games to keep people here, keep people invested in the games. I think that's where that should exist. And also, again, invest more. Dig in the weeds last season was brilliant. That's great. That's great out-of-stream content. But you can do so much more. There is so much potential for doing stuff. Trailers for your YouTube content. Heroes Hearth have a massive amount of YouTube content that they do. Trailers for that is pretty big. Advertise your own stuff. They had commercials for their adverts, but for the companies that sponsored, but that's it. No one does enough, especially in the Western scene. We're going to see Tyrael coming in for 30k this time. The Rexar was very sensibly picked up by Oxygen. It's another great racer. So far, the best racer in this map is currently Hanzo. Furion again for Yasuo. Hanzo and Li Ming for Oxygen. That gives them a lot of race potential. 30k, they do have Reyna. With Tyrael Swift Retribution, if they go for that, that will give them a very heavy amount of race. Tracer online as well. Okay as a race hero, not the best. It's a little slow. That looks pretty solid. Dynao is one of the best tracers in the world. So seeing that picked up is exciting to see. Malfurion and Tracer is one of the go-to combos as well. 30k, bringing it in. That's a great example there, Sangis. The fact that having the draft comms would be really interesting. The problem with draft comms, though, as an option, is it can give away strategies a lot more, and it can give away a lot more than actual in-game comms do, so a lot of the teams don't like it as much. I personally agree that out of all of the comms I would like to listen to, the draft is 100% the most interesting bit. But a lot of teams don't like to have that heard because it's where they discuss strategies a lot more, and if those strategies carry over week to week, it's very easy for some teams to go over to those VODs and check those out. So, we have our game, ladies and gentlemen. We are heading in to game number 2. On the right, 30k, Hasu, X-Ray, Dynao, Yasuo, and of course, Liam. Let's see if they can turn us into a 2-0 in this best of 5 series. See if they can close this out. Bets, thank you. Thank you for the reminder. I have time. Start a prediction, start a prediction. Who will win game 2? Start prediction. You got 1 minute. Go, go, go. Don't waste your time. Don't hesitate. On the right-hand side, Oxygen. Red Robot on that Johanna currently nearly alone. Rated, heavy. Should have been top lane. 2 people. Madara and Nasmus. Very cool to see. Yeah. So I agree. I agree with you, Sag, that I would love to see draft comms more. I would really love to see it. It would be, but it honestly, I think that is a great thing to have outside the game. Liam gonna poke away at the bear. Doing the best they can. Reinforced, by the way, coming in for the Johanna. That's interesting. It blocks single hero basic attacks, I believe. Gonna be helpful against Reyna. Ah, I'm wrong. I think Johanna just gets physical armor for a period of time there. Let's check that. I don't have that. It's not a talent we see picked often. Therefore, it's not a one that I have memorized. You just gain 60 physical armor for 2.5 seconds. All right, that's really sensible against Tracer and Reyna then. Very cool. Very cool indeed. X-Ray pressure it in. They're going to try and get onto Red Robot. Chase it in deep. 30k. Secures the camp. Secures the Red Robot, maybe. Heavy. They get the kill. Now Furion fighting the actual kill in the end there. We're once again going for allied shields from X-Ray on that Tyrael. Very cool to see. They poke away, trying to set themselves up. X-Ray is a X-Ray? X-Ray? What happened? Okay, so what did he do? Where is he right now? Okay, he's coming back. X-Ray coming in. And... Just okay. Yep, he just teleported over the wall. I didn't know if there was anything more. I didn't know if he spotted a kill he could do, but nope, he just went for it. He just went in. All right, there we go. That's just how it be sometimes. That's going to be a 1-for-1 in terms of kills, evening up the score. Bruiser caps being grabbed by both teams, basically mirrored, but there's going to be a siege cap up in top lane as well. 30k, stacking their camps together, trying to gain some momentum there as the Immortals spawn in. Rexar currently alone up in top lane. Rexar is good at a lot of things. Clearing mercenaries isn't one of them. That bird of prey only works on minions. Doesn't actually work on those bruiser camps, meaning that they can push in real hard without help. Big help, here it comes. Pulse Bomb does not land on Madara, but he still eats a lot of damage from X-Ray. Flank from Johanna forces them back. Front wall will go down, but that could be worse considering there's two camps coming in here since exposed from Johanna. Dominance for Li Ming, by the way, with Force Armor. Going for a tanky Li Ming build. Not going to go with that Triumvirate poke style. Die now poking away. Doing a lot of damage to the bear, mostly. And so far, this is all just distraction. The race coming in from Raider. This is the entire strategy of 30k here. Delay, distract, and let Raider win the halftime show, which he very nearly does, but gets forced back as the rotation comes in from Oxygen Esports. X-Ray teleporting out with Eldarin's Might, barely escaping. And with that, Liam running through, getting a little bit of extra damage. Liam might be dead here, though. Good knockback from Heavy, and that will be the kill going over to Oxygen Esports. They're going to go in for some counter race. Immediately, Tyrael and Raider making their way back in. They still win the halftime show. Now, can they keep that race going? They have Hasu, who has gone for Exterminator this time. They're against a Hanzo, though. That's very heavy on the race output. Die now, being a distraction. So is X-Ray. Delay tactics. Hasu was literally just ignoring Johanna to add to the race here. Yeah, Yasu helping out, just slowly burning through. Yasu will win the halftime show basically by himself here. We see an attempt at a race coming in, but with the sleep from Yasu, that will guarantee it. Madara is not able to land the scatter arrows. And that will be 30k, winning the first Immortal of the game. Pretty standard builds across the board here for pretty much everyone except Li Ming. There's that level 1's a little bit out of the ordinary. Dominance is a little bit rarer. But otherwise, everything's pretty standard here. Tyrael going even back to... Tyrael in this game, X-Ray's Tyrael, going to be picking up that Bound by Hope, Bound by Law. Those big extra slows for tank Tyrael. Massive shields output for the friendlies as they pressure their way in. That's going to be the first fort of the game. Going down, 30k. Already gaining quite a bit of momentum here. Top lane, D.Va's been able to hold back quite well, causing a lot more pressure. And 30k, they're really trying to hard macro this. They're doing a lot of pressure, making the most of that swift retribution from X-Ray, giving massive attack speed bonuses to Raider and that Tracer here, while also giving them massive movement speed bonuses to chase down their enemies. You can see how quickly they clean that up. Everything wombos together. There's this team attack speed. If they had Tychus, they would have like the fastest attack speeders in the game with Tracer, D.Va. I guess Tassadar would it be in there if you don't like fun. I'm not saying Tassadar isn't fun. I'm saying his auto attack doesn't go brrr, it goes bzzz. Mech destroyed. Liam going to try and hold the line, though. Yasuo's going to be the one who makes his way on, but it's still going to be D.Va going down first. It's actually kind of a massacre coming in favor of Oxygen. They grab the cap, and everyone on the side of 30k is looking very low here. Root does not land. Yasuo slowed out by Red Robot, chased down deep, gets away behind the wall. Hasu flanking, doing some damage there. Forcing them back, Red Robot. Oh, good reset by Drayton with the Calamity to follow up on the Condemn of Johanna and kill off Tracer. Despite level 10 being hit earlier for 30k, they still don't get a huge amount of value out of it. They lose the camp. They don't find a kill. Bots being cleared up. Well, they did find a kill. They got Rexar. Bruiser camp is being picked up by 30k as the objective is about to spawn. Twilight Dream, micro missiles. Reyna's Raider once again. Pulse Bomb for Tracer. Tyrael, yet to pick. Dragon Arrow, Blessed Shield, there's Sanctification. High Five. The knockback from Li Ming. And Unleash the Balls. Pulse Bomb lands as the slow Pulse Bomb, a little bit extra damage onto Madara. Scatter Arrows coming out, head start by Oxygen Esports, who took the positioning earlier, because they never took their Bruiser cap. No one racing here. This is 30k trying to fish for a fight. They're not looking to race him because they don't have anyone racing at the time. Here comes the knockback. That's a good Sanctification with self-destruct coming in, doing a large chunk of damage. Wipes out Li Ming and the Bear as they look for Red Robot, trying to set him up for the kill, unable to do so. But that was a good angle. The engage onto Raider, able to tank through really nicely, using that extra armor from that level 4. And we will see 30k getting a bit of an advantage. Immediately Hasu goes in for the race. We'll have to back away. Misha is still a little bit scary. Doesn't want to get caught out of position here. Liam's going to take over instead. Liam's a little bit safer. Scatter Arrow is complete. More comms that we can't hear. Comms will probably... Good job. Nice self-destruct, Liam. You did it. Can we actually get some protection for Raider here? Nah. Alright. Oxygen Esports now in a position where they can try and get a little bit more counter race. Scatter Arrows coming in. Die now. You can see that speed boost from Swift Retribution. Pulse Bomb comes out. The blind immediately from Red Robot. And again, defensive position for 30k. Blessed Shield came out. Recall from Die Now, dodging away from Red Robot. Halftime show is achieved by Oxygen Esports. Did 30k go for the offense or the race? They go for the race. Hasu's going to try and race alone while the rest of the team defends. They push on forward. Red Robot try to hold the line. Hanzo, sorry, has already had to back up, but Dragon Arrows from downtown. Sleep onto Red Robot with the root from Yasuo as they are forced to retreat. Nasmus flanking from the side with the Bear. D.Va, massive mini stun with that hit the Nitros. In the meantime, Raider is whittling away. 3,000 health left, 2,400. They're going to try and just counter race this. 1,500, 500 health left on the side of 30k. They win another Immortal. Intense back and forth between the two teams, choosing when to retreat, when to turn around, and when to race. Gonna make their way in. Taking care of that top fort. The Immortal, basically a non-existent shield, is gonna go into melee mode in like half a second. Gets one stun off in that ranged mode. The Immortal already being murdered through by Madara. Unleash the Balls coming out. Try and make their way forward. Sort of justice for X-Ray here. Try and push their way forward. Trying to set themselves up. X-Ray says hello to Madara, teleports back out, Sword of Justice and the move speed. They don't get the key, but they've opened it up. More than we can say for Oxygen Esports, who have yet to get themselves a fort yet. 30k. Despite this game looking a little shakier, 30k still seem to be in control. They have level 13 talents, which is why we'll not see Oxygen chase them down. Remember, everybody, if you're enjoying this show, consider dropping a subscription or a donation via bits or a donation link below. Pulse Bomb onto the Li Ming. Stays alive. Drayton trying to poke away, trying to do some damage. There's that illusionist. Escape tools for Li Ming. We have the Roar for the Johanna, a little bit of extra burst damage as well. So we see a very aggressive move out by Oxygen Esports with their 13s now. They are much more willing to fight. Died poking away at the bear. Liam knocking back a little bit of percentage damage as well. Good dodge on that bear. Misha dropping low, barely stays alive, even getting high-fived by Lucio. Iron Skin has to be used. X-Ray, Sword of Justice, in and out. Speed boost coming out. They choose not to chase with it. The rest of Oxygen Esports gets away. I'm in a lot of pain. I just accidentally elbowed myself in my wound because I was leaning on the desk and slipped. That really hurt. Ow! That's gonna be the Siege Cap being picked up by 30k. Bruiser Cap coming over to them as well. No mercenaries available for Oxygen Esports. Big advantage for 30k here. Maximum map pressure. So Oxygen, they're going to play a little more aggressive and they're going to look for murder. Rip Misha coming in from below on the flank. Looks for Die now. Level 16, just around the corner for 30k. They try and make that into something. Try and turn that into a play. Let's see what they can do, X-Ray. Having a look around. Big stun. Onto Liam. Micro missiles coming out. Needs some healing. Needs to get to Yasu. Meantime, X-Ray continuing to be very irritating. Zul delay tactics. 30k want level 16. Tracer was trying to split soak that. They've now had to send Misha up to top lane with Rexar. Nasmus will head up there, so 30k gets some free percentage. 1k difference in health of these two immortals. Died out. Slowing the entire team because Heavy kicked himself into his own team there. Managing to be that pulse bomb hit everyone. Excuse me. Siege Camp still pushing its way in here, causing massive problems for 30k. 30k set themselves up for a big push in. Die now. Doing as much damage as they can. Red Robot taking some big hits from Liam and X-Ray here. Hasu creeping in from the side. There's that level 16 burning Halo for the Tyrael. Stun from the bear. Looking to creep on in. Teleport going in for big damage, but again, that quick teleport out. Sword of Justice. Allowing Tyrael to leave so quickly. X-Ray being so annoying here. Teleports out again. Tank wormhole. Still bot lane pushes. A single siege minion and a catapult. Causing problems. 30k massively in the lead in terms of this Immortal race. Hasu has to be careful of the bear. X-Ray will be the one to come in and help deal with that, but Immortal stun gets cleansed out by Yasu with the Nature's Cure. Die now able to back away, play it safe. This is very aggressive. Blessed Shield attempted from Red Robot, unable to find the target. Ambitious, but a solid plan. Die now. Big damage onto Nasmus. High five prevents the slow. That's going to be Oxygen backing all the way up to base. 30k going to be able to get this Immortal. And likely, whichever keep it pushes, which will be bot lane, will be going down with it. Bruiser Camp going to be attempted to be picked up by Oxygen. Get himself some counter race. Hasu actually waiting out capping this because they want to be pushing with siege camps. Delays it until he knows top is going to be pushing. D.Va will get that. Dynout will get this with help. Will need quite a bit of help though. Here comes Red Robot. They might not actually get this. Root Dyna's just going to hold the point for now, and that's going to force back Red Robot. They have to lose it. X-Ray on the backline causing too many issues for Madara. So that is going to be now a siege camp pushing in with this Immortal. X-Ray doing some damage to Misha, that bound by Law, applying lots of slow. This is the healthiest Immortal we've seen so far. It's percentage damage from Hanzo. It's going to help out as this game goes on, if they can stay alive long enough to get more use out of it. Nazma's caught by the Immortal stun, but now in the root, the sleep lands. It's Malfurion is the one to get picked off, though. Fantastic flank by the members of Oxygen to take the advantage in this fight. Dyna forced to recall out as they chase in. The Immortal takes out the keep. They look for more self-destruct. Red Robot in trouble, makes it out the area. No nuclear options, so no lower duration as the Immortal will push in towards the core. It's got just over half health left. They're going to try and turn that into something, but the Immortal is dying too fast. This will be a retreat out of the members of 30k. Misha stunning them out here. 6% off the core. Top keep went down as well to the siege camp. And 30k taking a massive lead here. Still haven't lost a single fort. They're able to take down everything of their opponents. Very nicely done. 30k. In control now. Oxygen Esports. They now have to keep those lanes very, very cleared. Rexar's going to be busy. Top being sieged. 30k. Absolutely none of that, thank you. The more aggressive 30k played out, the better their chances are, because they get to keep Oxygen Esports fighting them. It means Oxygen Esports aren't clearing their lanes, which means more catapult accumulation. Big stun onto X-Ray, though, drops a lot of damage, barely survives. Nicely done by Oxygen. They are finding kills in these fights. Staying alive for the moment, pressuring onto Red Robots. This first fort that Oxygen might be able to get here is pressuring in. 2 catapults have accumulated in the bottom lane. X-Ray was able to port back and heal up. So again, moves in. Keep them distracted. Keep them busy. Top fort still being pressured. Looks like we might be seeing 30k be willing to give it up in exchange for a bruiser cap, but that's going to be invaded as well. But good sustain, good blocks by Liam and X-Ray, preventing the invade of Oxygen, so no steal. The catapults are beginning to creep closer to core. A third catapult is arriving, and Oxygen still continue to fight. Third catapult will be arriving shortly. The boars are unleashed. 20 is a full level away at Oxygen. They're trying to make something happen now because they don't have time to port back to base. They want to try and make something happen to give them that window, but they're out of time. The core is taking shots. 3 catapults. The minion wave is arriving, and it will probably stop the game from ending, but that core is going to take a lot of damage. Rexar is having to run back to base to keep it alive. Johanna doing the same. 63% left on that core. But of course, that opens up 30k to immediately race the Immortal to halftime, start on a siege camp, create more pressure. There's a bruiser camp in top lane, which has to be cleared out as well. Bruiser camps don't do too much value on the core, but the minion wave is spawning, and it will mean the catapults will accumulate up there as well, because the bruiser camp will hold them because it got to the minion wave before it got to the core. X-Ray, not in the best position here, taking a lot of damage. Big kill. Lovely blow up with the Dragon Arrow follow-up. Die now. Not able to land the pulse bomb, though. Core's about to be under attack. 2 catapults accumulated in this lane, pushing in, creating pressure. Balls come out. Little bits of damage being done here and there. Counter race. No one is racing, but they've bought time for Rexar to go home and save the game again. Core down to 52%, but it is alive. Li Ming has finally moved across the map to go race, but Tracer is one side, Hasu is the other, Liam is in the middle. Oxygen Esports are trying to defend 4 members of 30k from doing 3,000 damage to an Immortal with just 3 of their bodies. Dino comes in from the sky. Trying to delay, trying to distract. Nasmus is stuck in base. He just cannot be here. Dino is low, heavy, chase it in. There's the kill from Drayton, but the Immortal goes down. They get the kill, but they lose the Immortal, which is now pushing into a 52% health core, with what is just about a 47% shielded Immortal. 30k. Looking to take game number 2 and set themselves up for match point. They're going to be heading in the bot lane, causing distraction and trying to blow up Nazma, the Observer! We're going back in. There we go. Nazma slowed down. They're trying to get it with the Bound by Law, trying to capitalize. The Dragon Arrow does not land. Sanctification comes out. They're literally just going to ignore him. They focus the core. That's going to be game number 2. Going up to 30k. Even if they all die here, the Immortal ends the game. 30k will take game number 2. And they are now 1 game away from taking this series in a 3-0. 30k. Looking strong. Looking convincing. Will we have our 4th 3-0 of CCL? We'll have to see. Prize pool currently already up. The extra prize pool on top already up to $4,900. Thank you everyone who's been donating to that. And if you like my cast, you could donate to me. Bits donation link below. I'm not being paid for these casts. There is currently no sponsor. CCL sure as hell aren't supporting me. So any support you can give is appreciated because I literally cannot do this without you. Damage output, die now. Only 2 deaths on Tracer, 79k. Big shout out to Madara, by the way. 78k damage on Hanzo without dying in that level of aggressive game was pretty cool. 8 kills to 4, yet another 30k macro victory. 30k, this seems to be a solid start for them so far. If we don't win eventually, even if we don't outkill you, we will likely win eventually. And it seems to be working out for them. They're able to make their way in for core at the end there. The Holy Arena at level 20, that big bonus damage output, really just helped them race down the core. Very solid strat, very safe strat. We know the Immortal will win the game if we don't, so as long as we just do some damage, then we guarantee it. Very smart, very simple play. With that, the main stream will be going on its break. So we will have some time to fill. As we will await for the mainstream to return from their slumber. I will take a quick drink before we will go over some stats. Alrighty. So, let's start having a look at some statistics to see what information we can glean from our previous series. So far, I'm just checking this out. Malfurion has, until Granite played today, Malfurion had a 100% win rate. Being played once by Simplicity and winning, twice by Wildheart and winning, and then twice by Granite Gaming, and it did lose both of those games. But Malfurion showing to be very, very strong in this current meta. Looking good here. 30k, excuse me. 30k have added to that number though. 2 games, 2 wins. It's Malfurion, the more bannable hero here. Let's actually check Lucio. See which one has a higher win rate right now. So hang on. So we have 1 win, 3 wins for Malfurion, 3 wins, 2 losses, 5 wins, 2 losses. Lucio, hang on, let me get a notepad out. Notepad, so I can write down these numbers. So Malf, 5 wins, 2 losses. Lucio is banned a lot more often, so we have to bear that in mind. Was not played once at all in the first series, in Oxygen vs Simplicity. Was played twice in Wildheart versus Chilly Mountain. Won once, lost once. Ah, no, I'm wrong. There's a second one hidden in there. So there's 2 games of Lucio. 3 games of Lucio. So that's 2 wins, 1 loss during Wildheart versus Chilly Mountain. 3 wins, 1 loss. There's our break on screen there. So we'll come back to me. Hello, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day, everybody. So 3 wins, 1 loss. It was not played, by the looks of it, Yes, because it was banned every game in Storm versus Granite. So 3 wins, 1 loss, and then in 30k, it was played 1-1, lost 1. So that is 4 wins, 2 losses. So right now, Malfurion has a higher win-loss ratio than Lucio. But Lucio has 1 less game played. Interesting. Okay. Interesting to see. Like, there's a reason Malfurion is being played so much right now. It turns out Emerald Dream is just kind of insane. It's a ridiculous talent that somehow made it through the patches. And so everyone looks at that and was like, you know what? This is fine. I don't see how this could backfire on us in terms of balance in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, they liked that quite a bit. In terms of Tyrael's, Tyrael has now won 1 game from 30k, 0 games from Granite Gaming across 1 game, so it is 1 and 1, and then was not played in either of our series yesterday. So far Tyrael sits at a 50% win rate across 2 games, both times using that tank Tyrael build. Now the important one, Uther. Uther is the other support who we see banned out in almost every single game. Let's do Uther and Stukov at the same time here. We're doing live math so that we can get this working. So let's do Uther and Stukov. So there's Uther, there's Stukov. So, series number 1, we have a Stukov loss. 1 Stukov loss. And 2 Uther wins. Uther 2 wins. That's in series number 1. So the other hero supports that were played were Brightwing, Malfurion, and Karazim and Deckard. Alrighty. Series number 2. We have... there's a Stukov. We have another Stukov loss. 2 Stukov losses. An Uther loss, our first Uther loss from Chili Mountain. And neither of them were played in the game after that. Okay, today's games. Storm. 1 with Stukov. Stukov's first win. 1 win for Stukov. And Anduin was played. This does not help our statistics, but it does mean that Anduin has a 100% win rate. Get wrecked. Anduin and Brightwing, kings of supports. We have in game number 2, that was the Anduin and Malfurion, so no there. In number 3, there was a Deckard and a Uther who lost. So Uther is at a 50% win rate. Stukov is at a 33% win rate. Hello, JB. So currently, our highest win rate support is Malfurion, followed by, if we technically don't count, technically our highest win rate supports are Brightwing, Anduin, and I believe Deckard. Let me double check that quickly. No, Deckard is 50% as well. So we have a 50% win rate for Deckard Kane. We have a... oh, there's an Anna. She has 0%. Unlucky. Anna not doing too well this season. So Deckard has a 50% win rate. So yes, our highest win rate heroes right now are Anduin and Brightwing. They both have 100% win rates. Followed by Malfurion, then Lucio, then Uther and Deckard Kane. And finally, that leaves us with our lowest win rates heroes, which are Stukov and Anna. So Stukov actually not doing very well this season. That's interesting. That is interesting. He was one of the highest picked heroes last season. And yet this season seems to be struggling. That's interesting information. We don't get a lot of information about that. I'm actually having a look at the season 1 statistics to see last season what the statistics were. Where is Stukov? Oh, the staff medical. There we go. Stukov had a 48% win rate last season. Still better than how he's doing this season, but still interesting to see that we didn't get that, that we're not seeing anywhere close to that so far. Over much less games, to be clear. but it's interesting to see. We already have our next map. The mainstream is back from its break, so we are good. It's going to be Infernal Shrines will be our next map, map number 3. Can 30k close this out in a 3-0? Hyde was playing, so it is skewed. That is true. Every Hyde game on Stukov was pretty monstrous. Well, now I'm curious. What was Hyde's win rate last season? What was Hyde's Stukov win rate? Let's have a look. Community Clash League. Organizations. Can I look at Season 1? You're not going to show me Season 1, are you? But I can look at 30k because he's on there. Cool. Except he doesn't have any games. Alright, we're just going to have to search Hyde. No, we can't do that. Oh, this is really annoying. There's no way to look up on this website Season 1. They've just gone over everything. They've just overlapped everything with the stuff from last season. Hang on. Oh, wait, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Hang on. So, we'll go with 30k. And then we'll go back to Season 1. And then we can look at their opponents and see Sidestep Kings. Hey, we're smart. We're smart. And go to Hyde. All seasons. There we go. So, Hyde had a 60% win rate with Stukov. So yeah, Hyde definitely brought up the statistics of Stukov in CCL Season 1. Fun to see. We have our lobby. Let's get on involved. Right as it comes back to my face. Let's get this going. Let's see how we start off. Reminder, everybody, if you're enjoying, please subscribe or donate. We're going to aim for 100 subs by the end of this month. We're already at 51 on day 3 of May here. Let's see what we can do. Oh, speaking of which, oh damn. Tomorrow's Star Wars Day. Sick City, fam. Feels good. It's currently May Day, which is something in the UK that exists. Don't know anything else about it, but it exists. They're going to be taken out of action once again. Removed from the board as fast as possible. 30k. I'm going to set up the prediction while we wait for their ban. I'm going to remember to do it. Oh, I didn't actually... Did I close the prediction last time? I did not. Choose outcome. 30k. Boom. Prediction is closed. Start prediction. Who will win Game 3? That is ready and prepared. Please continue to remind me so that I do not forget. Thank you, team. Sonya taken out of action. Chromie banned away as well. These are pretty standard bans. If we were looking at this during Storm Division, we'd be like, yep, this is pretty normal. If we see a Medivh ban, then we've kind of just covered all of the go-tos here. And we know Madara can play that Medivh. So it wouldn't be out of the question to see that banned away here by 30k. But no, they banned Diablo first. Alrighty. Diablo still considered to be a little scary, but that's going to be a first pick Cassia for Auction Esports then. The wait is over. So now, 30k. Early picks. They get Hogger, and they get Lucio back for Yasu. Yasuo ready to drop those cleanses. They've got Hogger for that dominant top lane potential. Immediately the D.Va. D.Va seems to be the go-to matchup into Hogger these days. Stukov picked up by Hebi. Stukov still the high priority here. Not going to go with that Karazim again. It got them close last time, but it did not close out the game. It's a pretty rough map for Karazim as well. There's a lot more sustained fights in the objective. And Johanna gonna be banned away. Johanna would be great with D.Va and Cassia. Extra blinds for Cassia. Grouping those shrine minions together for D.Va can maximize that extra value. We'll see what they can do. Mei going to be taken out of action. Mei would have been good for 30k. Between Hogger and Mei, they would just have all of the area control. Make it very hard to get in. The only way they could have more is if they had Deckard. Now, 30k. What do they do? They need range, they need main tank, they're going to go with Tassadar. Alrighty. Tassadar going to come in. Great area control, great wave clear for the objective here. Some good burst follow-up onto X-Ray, who is once again playing the Anubarak. Anubarak really popular this series. Ooh, Zarya for Oxygen Esports. Giving themselves some shielding, that hyper carry for Cassia. Good poke damage. And Leoric. That is going to be main tank Leo. Very fun to see. Oxygen Esports were the ones who ran main tank Leo a little bit more often than anyone else last season. They're busted it out again. This gives them fantastic shrine clear. And that's Zarya, filling in a sort of support and damage dealer role. Likely going to be going with the grenade at level 7. And the other talents will be more committed to ally and self-shielding. Mephisto is the last pick for Hasu. Very sensible. They're going double mage. Zarya can get spell armor later on, but having that double mage basically means that they can just harass the objective from range. They don't have to fight this triple front line. If they can avoid the fight, they get a little bit more time to just poke away. They also have great follow-up on the burst if they do dive in with that Anubarak. Should be strong. Powerful comps from both of these teams. We'll see who comes out ahead as we're getting prepared for game number 3. Will Oxygen finally be able to be the first team not to get 3-0'd in the loss category, or potentially start their own reverse sweep? We'll have to see. Or will 30k be able to close out this series with a 3-0, joining the ranks of Wildheart Esports, Simplicity, and Storm Esports. Who's coming out on top? We're finding out now as we are heading into the game, ladies and gentlemen. On the right-hand side, 2-0 up in this series. It is 30k. X-Ray on the Anub. We have Liam on the Hogger. Dyna on Tassadar. Hasuobs on the Mephisto. And that's going to be Yasuwu. Going to be playing that Lucio. Strong composition. Very terrifying. On the left-hand side, Oxygen Esports. Heavy on the Stukov. We have that lovely Madara on the Cassia. Nasmus on Diva. Red Robots on Leoric. And that leaves us with Drated playing the Zarya. Let's see what they can do. Auto-attack Cassia. They're hyper-carrying this Cassia build. Makes sense. The Nubrak is also a little more resilient to spell damage, so committing more auto-attacks means they're going to have a little bit of a better time versus X-Ray to try and burn him down. Big zaps from Dyna. Knockbacks from Nasmus to buy time as Leo went for a full bounce. Lurking Arm buys them the time they need. We're seeing the Beetles. There's that allied shielding here for Drated. Exactly the build we predicted. So the build we will likely see here, we're going for it together. We are strong. Damage done by allies when they have the shield. Great for when you're hyper carrying with Madara. Just drop it on Madara every fight. Keep them alive, keep them pushing. Each bit of damage done, every 5.35 damage plus 4% per level damage done by allies increases 1 energy up to 40 energy per shield. Which, when you combine that with Fend, means Madara is going to be doing a lot of extra shielding, a lot of extra energy for Drated. Drated is going to be very strong there. At level 20, we'll likely be seeing the speed barrier. Keep that Cassia moving, keep her hyper carried. You can go give me 20 as well. Both of those are very highly valued. Level 7 will be pinpoint accuracy to give Zarya some actual decent damage output. Level 10 will be expulsion zone because that's the only talent worth picking, it seems. Level 13 will be unstoppable competitor or spell barrier. We'll have to see. Pain is temporary would normally be good, but there's not enough auto attack damage to gain the value in this case. And then we'll see that cleansing shield or gain train, depending on how much harassment the front line is under. Lots of value. Grenadier at level 20. There's lots of potential to be done here by this Zarya build. Drated, tanking through. There's that Neil Peasants for Leo. Diva heading back up to the top lane. Looks like they're just running in with the 3-man for the moment, with Leo soaking one lane and Diva soaking the other. And they are going for the together we are strong. Getting the cooldown reduction on the shield. The Gippy 20, sorry. To go for the cooldown reduction. Fun to see. I've always liked that talent, but we don't see it too often these days. Electric Fence coming in. I like it. Die now. Gonna cause some disruption. More slows. If there's a hyper carry, we don't want to fight it. We're just gonna try and wall you away. A little bit of slow, a little bit of delay. It's gonna be solid for the late game. Also, remember, it will not affect Hogger. So your team gets control over where Hogger goes. The enemy team has no control over where they go. Gives you a lot of value. Objective, going to be spawning in that bottom lane. Stukov, no Bartikaba. Against double mages, might as well go for the cooldown reduction. Very sensible. And against Mephisto, honestly, just a really good idea. Head start for Oxygen Esports, but 30k still going to make their way on. So they're trying to take the fight. 14-5 right now in favor of Oxygen. There's the bounce. This is not an infinite bounce location. We discussed this before. You can immediately see Hogger leaving the location. There is no way to get an infinite bounce on this objective unless you go in the vent. They're trying to hold, trying to delay as best they can, but it's a lot of damage onto Hasu, chasing him down. And 30k will be forced off the point. This will be the first Punisher going over to Oxygen Esports. Oxygen Esports coming on in with the Arcane Punisher. X-Ray pulls it over. Nicely done with the Burrow Charge. Baiting it away fully. Hopelessness. No, sorry, that's Drain Momentum for Leoric. Tassadar going with the extra Psy Storm when he hits someone with his Shock Ray. Punisher pulled over. Hasu eats a shot as well, but X-Ray tanking very nicely. Another Trash Fire coming in for Hogger. Seems to be the go-to. They make their way forward, put a little bit of pressure. Expanding Lurking Arm coming in for Heavy. Mixing up their build a bit as well. Good for zoning. Once again, they already have a lot of zoning. With that Diva especially. Cassia with a Plate of the Whale. And for that Surge of Light. Very heavy on the burst style here. I want to get stuck in these fights. Waves being cleared out. Lucio reverse amping on level 7. Nice force wall again, the electric fence. Trying to delay, trying to cause problems. Die now, eating the siege cap so that they can protect the fountain. As in comes X-Ray. Beetle gonna pull the aggro, and that's gonna leave Die now to clear this up. This means their fountain will survive. Good news for 30k. As Yasu continues to be annoying, gains vision. But this camp 100% going over to Oxygen. We will not see 30k dive it. X-Ray continuing to deny the rotation. But level 10, hit earlier for Oxygen Esports. They are beginning to extend their lead here. We have those micro missiles. There's that expulsion zone. Build-wise so far, we were 100% on point prediction-wise for that Zarya. Into massive shove ball lightning as the final pickups here. Making their way in, Drayton, knocked up, zapped very effectively. Expulsion zone onto X-Ray, but he's tagging through. Liam with a knockback. And that grants the team a lot of opportunity. Good knockback by Yasu, knocking everyone into the dynamite of Liam. That's not a permanent bounce, but it's enough to zone everyone away. Level 10 now available for 30k as well. Another sound barrier game. Yasu leaning on sound barrier quite a bit here, and that's sensible. Let's count the things that they can cleanse. Lurking Arm. We're done. Technically, you could cleanse the hit the Nitros, you could cleanse the expulsion zone, you could cleanse there is no Valkyrie, you can cleanse the slow of Leo, but honestly, way more value from Bosun over this game. You're going to have a much better time. There's the knock up and knock back. Red Robot is just being pinballed around here and will get picked off. Leo trying to tank through, but eats a lot of DPS there. We're not seeing Leo go for maximum tank build, but he is still trying to tank it out a little bit. That Drain Momentum will help keep up with that Lucio. Sometimes with main tanks, we will be seeing a Willing Vessel for extra tankiness style. And we will be seeing a bit more of a commitment to the Drain Hope build, but I honestly think we'll be sticking with the Spectral Leech build here. Maybe Ominous Wraith. Entomb landed. No value to be gained at all. Didn't even burn the sound barrier. Just very good patience coming out of that Lucio there. Yasuo's doing a great job keeping control of this map. Meantime, Hogger and D.Va still soaking in. D.Va's going to try and flank in. Turns into a 5v4 for a short period of time. Micro missiles from the side. Going to try and focus on Dido. Drops the Archon and will get focused down. Self-destruct being burned as well. Expulsion zone won't trap anyone. And Durance does not land. Some more team comms we can't listen to. Fantastic. So we do see the waves being cleaned out. We need to set up a CCL. I can't say what type of game, but a particular type of game. We need to set up one of those where it's stuff like anytime we see something we're not supposed to on the stream, take a gain a point. CCL bingo, we'll call it. Whee! A noob flies off the map there, and Oxygen in a heavy lead this time. Every time you see something we're not supposed to, get a point. Every time the comms show up because we can't listen to them, take a point. Liam tanking through. Leo really winning out this fight. Liam is in real trouble, but that's a good flank by Hasu. And that will allow them to guarantee that mercenary camp. That's a big play, big rotation from Hasu up there to guarantee that. That could have been a lost camp, a lost objective. That would have been a real bad spot for 30k. Red Robot is relentless here. He is going for Drain Hope build, by the way. Unyielding Despair. He also dies. Very big blow up there. Very effectively done. And immediately we're going to see Drayton and Nathmas pushing out the top lane. Cassia has to make their way down bot because it looks like 30k were thinking about just sort of not defending and trying to get some counter push. But now they will be forced to retreat. They will back away. Drayton will slow down Liam a bit by demounting him. We're going to see that dimensional shift for Tassadar, getting themselves out of danger. Electric Fence is dropped onto the Punisher because it does actually affect it. The Punisher isn't blocked by it, but Electric Fence does damage, so no reason not to. They're going to try and get D.Va. Zap, stun, Durance, melt the mech. They get the mech. Now it's about the body. That's what's running away. Electric Fence, and that's a kill. Hornipole into the backline. Liam looking for more. Heavy is now isolated from the team. Madara is trying to get their way in, but this is going to be one dead. Heavy shield comes out. Expulsion zone, but it's too late. Goodbye, Heavy. The Keep survives. 30k finding kills, getting themselves back into this game. Full Beetle build for Anubarak. Burning Beetles now at level 13. Gonna make their way in. So yeah, Yielding Despair, the cooldown reduction for Red Robot, likely meaning that he's actually going to be building into a Crushing Hope at level 16. Cool to see. Zarya went for the unstoppable competitor, as we predicted. The spell armor would have been nice, but in this case, that unstoppable against the Nubrak is going to be super useful for controlling the objective. Virulent reaction for the Stukov. The extra gloves of alacrity for the Cassia. Red Robot 100% sees Yasuo here. Camp invade. Red Robot steps out forward. Drain Hope finds Yasuo, who runs through him and leaves. X-Ray, though, going to take a lot of damage. It's currently a 5 versus now 4. Hogger going to try and bounce onto the point to secure it, but it's going to be Cassia who dies in exchange. Oh, no! Oh, okay, we're good. That was a lag on their side because we can still hear the sounds. The camp was not taken by anyone, but Cassia got that's all the damage output of Oxygen Esports taken out. And that's going to be a 2 for 1 in favor of 30k. Knockback onto Heavy. Electric Fence trying to melt him with that damage, but it's not enough. Hasselhoff's unable to finish the kill. Yasuo was very much thinking about diving deep to finish that one off, but unable to go in any further. Yasuo going to pour back. That's going to be the siege camp taken by 30k. Gaining more control. They were going to be able to get their Brutes camp. Again, it was not finished. That fight was too chaotic. I realize I didn't set up the prediction. Oh, well, sorry, team. Sorry, everybody. I'm not going to run it now, because that would be unfair. Auction Esports grabbing their own siege camp. Bruiser camp being delayed by 30k. They killed it already, but they cap it now. Trying to cause a distraction for Auction Esports to give themselves a head start. Force Wall, once again, being utilized. Tassadar going with the extra damage on those Psy Storms, or damage is done quicker. Going to knock them back. Big bounce from the Hogger. Expulsion Zone is going to be used to zone them away after the Durance of Hate landed on Red Robot, who was able to Wraith Walk away. Crushing Hope was picked up. We have the cleansing shields for the Zarya, cleansing out the rest of the team. 16s versus 16s as Oxygen make their way back onto the point. No one died. Again, no perfect bounce angle on this objective. It's the worst one for Hogger, but they're still making their way in. Hasu doing a lot of damage, but he's not in the best position when he returns here. Getting chased in. Big lurking arm. Madara freed from the cocoon by Zarya, making the most of the attack speed and cleansing herself from X-Ray, sniping him with the grenade. It's that pinpoint accuracy. They go in for the kill. Hogger bouncing around, but there's no position here. Now goes Leo. Liam is trying to 1v1 Drayton. The objective goes over to 30k, and they get it. Drayton taken out. 2 for 1 in favor of 30k. Able to take that fight and turn it back in their favor. Yet another Punisher for them. Over the wall, Hasu does quite a bit of damage, but very nearly dies. Same with Liam. The Lurking Arm doing damage, the Fort doing a lot of damage. And they're still going. Very greedy here. They need some regen globes. Durance, they attempt to land it onto Nasmus. They pop the mech. Massive shove is burned. That will be enough for the retreat. Die now. Minion Wave will be able to finish off that 4. He will get away. In the meantime, Siege Camp in mid lane, a Minion Wave has been able to stop it killing off the Forge, but it cut it very close. Auction Esports clear it out top lane as best they can. They've got rid of the Punisher. Only 2 forts down at 14 minutes. In fact, the structures now kind of evened up because Auction Esports were in a very solid lead in terms of structures up until just now. Hogger bouncing away, securing this for the team. Doing the best they can. Martial Law for Cassia. Percentage damage. Can be really helpful for her. But we have the extra Force Wall range and cooldown reduction for Tassadar. Combine that with that Durance of Hate, and there are suddenly a lot of problems. Nerubian King for X-Ray going that extra armor and extra max health. Mimic for Hasu. Maximizing damage. They're trying to run past him a lot. Lucio, extra passive healing. Just try and keep the team sustained. Gonna back away. But here's Devil 10 on the other side. Here are the biggest talents to pay attention to. Infinite Lightning, with that cooldown reduction, it's going to add a lot of DPS. Buried Alive, that is the game-changing heroic. And of course, that Force Wall is big. That could be how they that could be how 30k end this series here. A couple good Force Walls, 1 good Entomb, and it could be over. Red Robot focused down, drops the Entomb, but Hogger does not care. Rolls on out of it. There's the Expulsion Zone, trying to hold it, but great Durance to isolate that kill. That's a triple kill for 30k as they find absolutely everyone there. Let's see that again. Chasing them in, the massive shove came out. They chase on in, the self-destruct burned by Nasmus. They think it's enough for the retreat, but here comes Yasu. Distraction on the side, X-Ray deep, Force Wall, but it's Liam from the side who stuns them. They have to drop the Entomb because Leo's about to die, but he only catches Hogger, who's already spinning. He gets out of it, he ignores terrain, and that just leaves Hogger to spin through everyone. Everyone who's not already in Hogger's spin is trapped, isolated, and blown up. 30k, they get the keep. They will back away. Entomb is back. Red Robot did not decide to attempt to entomb Yasu. Very intense back and forth, but 30k find the angle they need. Leo, he did actually entomb more than one person there, but he died so fast that they weren't able to get any extra value out of it. It's an arcane shrine coming in. With Leo dying, no one's blocking the entrance to the tomb, and everyone walks out of it. It's a pretty ineffectual tomb, to be honest. We're hearing some Oxygen team comms. They are almost certainly, oh dear god, because we don't get the team comms on our clean feed. This is a permanent bounce situation. Hogger is going forever now. He's going to take a little bit of damage from it, though. Will need some healing. Might have to cancel himself, and he does. X-Ray on the side, poking their way in. Entomb lands, but Liam forced out of it. The self-destruct coming in, catches no one on the side. Expulsion Zone splits off Dyna, but he's still poking away. We see Hasu getting closed in on, but they kill Leo first. Huge damage with the Mimic, takes out Drayton, murdering through here. Hogger's on the permanent bounce. Yasu's chasing deep. They win the objective. Heavy is isolated. The Forceful slows them down with the electric fence. Heavy taken out, and X-Ray is body blocking Nasmus. Massive stun from Liam, and that is game. Full team wipe, no keeps. This will be no keep to defend it. This will be game number 3 at the series, going over to 30k, finding the fight they needed, just avoiding that Entomb. If that Entomb had landed, that could have been a very different story, but no such luck in this case, with an Arcane Punisher pushing him to the base and no one here to defend it. This will be game number 3 at the series, going over to 30k. $30k taking the victory. They join the ranks of Wild Heart Esports, Storm Esports, and Simplicity in the 3-0 club. Oxygen, they move down to the bottom 3 club with Onyx, Granite Gaming, Chili Mountain, and who am I missing? Oh, that's it. That's 3. I can do math. 3 kills to 16 that game. Despite a small structure advantage taken by Oxygen at one point, there just was not enough there. The Lucio, too many problems. Tassadar really popping off in terms of damage there. 85k. Mephisto keeping up pretty effectively. But 30k, able to take heavy momentum that series. Out macro game 1, out macro game 2, murderize game 3, showing that they are not a one-note team. Very nicely done. With that, the table stands at a 4-way tie heading into week number 2. 30k, Wild Heart Esports and Simplicity, and 30k Wild Heart Simplicity and Storm Esports, all sitting in a tied first place. Next week, we'll have to break that deadlock. Next week's games, Granite Gaming will take on Oxygen in the battle for last place. 30k will take on Onyx. Chili Mountain go against Storm, and the Grand Finals rematch, Simplicity versus Wild Heart Esports. I will, of course, not be casting those games live, as I have told you. I will be live streaming them, but it will not be on the weekend they happen. It will be during the week. So when you want to make sure you catch those games live, make sure you hit that follow button so that you can see the games when they go live. And if you just want to catch the VOD, then make sure you subscribe to youtube.com/Tetcher, where I put up all my casting VODs, and I also put up the VODs of my shows like Heroes Global Quiz, and you can catch my weekly Heroes news show that I do with Jixie Cat, Stormwatch, where we run you through all of the Heroes of the Storm esports news for the week in just a couple minutes. Thank you very much for the bit swing. As I will be heading off soon, I will give you my one last selling pitch. Once again, if you want to support this show, being vocal is the best way to do so. Twitch, Reddit, Twitter, anytime people talk about CCL or Heroes of the Storm, mention the Tetcher stream and the Tetcher cast and that you enjoy it, and that's the best way to support the stream, to bring in more viewers, because that raises attention and makes it easier for me to sell myself to people with money. Speaking of people with money, if you have a little bit of expendable income, then a really appreciative way you can help out is to drop a subscription or a donation. I know not everyone can do this, that's why I recommend the free option first, but I do this for free. CCL sure as heck aren't paying me, and this stream is not sponsored, so as such, I only get money from adverts, subscriptions, and donations. So that is via bits or the donation link below the stream with Streamlabs. That is all I get. So every little bit counts, because that's all the money I am getting, and it is what I use for food and shelter. We're aiming for 100 subs before the end of the month. We are at 51 so far, so any extra support you can give is appreciated. We got some lovely people gifting out subs today. Big thank you for Dax for gifting some subs. And we also had a gifting sub from... Who else gifted a sub? I'm pretty sure we had a double gifted sub. Where was it? I've lost it. So I'm pretty sure someone else gifted a sub. Thank you whoever did, and we had several 69 bits. Feels amazing. But, ladies and gentlemen, for now, that is going to be it for me. Make sure to tune back in during the week after the 8th and 9th, where I will be casting those next games. But if you want me to cast live CCL games again, the next time I'm casting it live as CCL is happening will be on the 15th and 16th. So make sure to tune in then. Hit the follow button and turn on that little bell on the stream to see exactly when that happens. Thank you all very much for watching. I have been Tetcher. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you have a wonderful evening. I'm going to head off for the night. I hope your night is wonderful. I'm going to either see if there's a stream happening that I want to raid or start a rerun so anyone who missed the early games can get to see them again. Thank you all for watching. You're all wonderful. Subscribe with Twitch Prime or your regular subs and donate. Very appreciated if you do. Have a wonderful evening and see you all next time. Good night.